Hey Colin, this is George with Underdog Leads. Like I promised you whenever I met you in the store, I'm going to give you a video and it's going to give you some quick things you can implement right away to start getting a lot more traffic to your establishment over there on Topper Wine. So, first things first, I noticed you don't have a website, you only got a Facebook page. Now, I'm sure you understand that Facebook's actually super important. Social media in general is super important. You're going to want more platforms than just Facebook. I'm not sure if you have an Instagram, a Twitter, and maybe like a Tumblr. But you're going to want a couple other social media platforms. Those are always big in local restaurants, nutrition shops, things like that. Gyms as well. So, social media is always a great thing. But what I want to really talk about today is kind of just more about Google and how you can start using that. So, first things first. I looked this up. Now this tool right here, it shows you your rankings in the map. So this is actually geared up nutrition right here. Let's see. Here we go. This is geared up nutrition. So this is a competition that you're going to want to beat. Now I pulled these guys up because they're popping up first right where you're at. These bubbles represent the rankings in the map. So whenever you do a search, you have the little map pack that has 3 places on a map, and typically this is going to get 30% of the traffic of people looking for whatever you're offering. So for this one, I put nutrition store. Someone's looking for nutrition store. This is what they're ranking. Now let's go to you. It's got to be somewhere here. Well, let's just go to the actual thing, nutrition store. So these are your rankings. So immediately where you're at, you're like number 2. For the most part, you're really far back here. So if you're in the top 3 of the map pack, like I said, it's 30% of the traffic whenever people are looking for this on Google. Someone's looking at a nutrition store, 30% of the traffic's right there. Now let's look up Shake Shop. Someone looks up Shake Shop. The only place that you're popping up for is immediately right here. You're number 2. That is where you're at, and that is because these map listings are like sonars. So the closer you are, the stronger the signal. But there are ways to leverage that signal so where it reaches out a lot farther, and you can make that signal really strong. So you can pop up in a lot more places than just immediately where you're located. So now let's see who your competition is here again. Incredible Shakes. So Incredible Shakes, these guys, you can tell they have a pretty good amount of the map taken over. Alright, so that's one of the first things I wanted to address. That is the map packs. Now, some of the biggest things that you can do to actually bump up your rankings in the maps is getting these things called citations. Now, citations are listing in a bunch of relevant directories. So you're going to have to get into like restaurant directories, fitness directories. And in these directories, you're going to have to make sure that they have your exact business name, address, and phone number. And the more you have, the better. I always recommend a little over 300 because nobody has that. And that's actually what's going to get you to pass a lot of your competitors by a landslide. So that is the first thing I recommend. Next, so like I said, maps are 30% of the traffic, and these guys are popping up for a nutrition store. Well, let me show you. They're popping up first in the map. So let me show you. These guys are popping up first in the organic listings. So this is when you get past the maps. 60% of the traffic is on the first page Google, or 90% of the traffic is on the first page Google. 30% in the map, 60% in organic listings. So these guys are number 1 for San Antonio. And I can tell you why. Because one of the biggest things that Google really likes to see is content. So this is the amount of words you have on a site. It has to be relevant to whatever you're offering. and it has to be really keyword rich. For instance, they're including words like vitamin, supplement shop, cost plus nutrition. They're mentioning their name, but if you go down, recommended products. But if you go down, you can tell they're always trying to include something that has to do with what they're selling: health, nutrition, okay, vitamin supplement industry, nutrition, sports, extensive. So you kind of see what they're doing. So I always recommend at least 1,500 words on a site, on a homepage. Looks like these guys probably got about 400, maybe, not even 400. I'd say like 200. But 1,500 words on your first page, your homepage, will get you a lot of recognition from Google, and that'll actually bump you up a lot. So now these guys are first in the maps. Let's see what they're doing. They don't have a lot of content, a lot of pictures, but the traffic they are getting is purely from the maps. So, with that being said, it's pretty obvious, just a numbers game, how it's structured, what they're including in their keywords, in their content. So next, the next thing I really think you should implement is this thing called backlinks. Now, an example of backlinks is getting a news station to write an article about you guys, and in the article they include a link, and that's going to make you relevant for whatever you want to rank for, as long as the article is relative to whatever you're doing. So for instance, I know that you had a news thing on Facebook. If they were to write an article and it said best nutrition shop or a nutrition store in San Antonio, and they had a link going to your site, you get a lot of power from that. But you're on Facebook, so it's a little different. So let's kind of see what these guys are doing. So these guys are the #1 on organic listings. Remember I told you this gets 60% of the traffic. They have 91 referring domains. Now, I told you backlinks. Backlinks is very important, but all backlinks are not built equally. Some hold more weight, some are more credible, so you actually pop up for certain keywords if you have more quality backlinks. So these guys have 333. These are some metrics. This shows the trust of a site, and this shows the power of a site. So these guys have more backlinks, but they also have less trust and less power. That means they're not getting the best backlinks, they're not really quality at all, and that's exactly what's holding them up. See, so they're getting 1,100 people going to their site organically. This is not ads, this is organically. Geared Up Nutrition here on the maps that are ranking #1, they're only getting 161. So you can tell there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of real estate you can be capturing just by utilizing Google a lot better. With that being said, you still have to remember that you always have to do your social media. You have to be posting often. You need to have nice pictures that are going to cause engagement and have people want to actually go to your store. I gave you a good review today on Google, and I also left you a nice little comment in my Facebook group that I saw that somebody else actually said that she's been wanting to go. I recommended them to go to your spot. Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed the shake, by the way. So with that being said, I'm going to send you this video on the 30th, and I will be following up with you on Thursday. So I look forward to talking to you, Collin. I hope you have a good day.